Yes, it is that time of the year when we pause and take this opportunity to extend to you, our family and special friends, our wishes for a joyous holiday season and to share with you some very brief snippets of our life during the past year. Our year began with the ski trip to Park City, Utah with John Kent and Jeffrey. And while the local folks didn't believe their snow conditions were up to par, for us it was absolutely delightful. So come join us on a run. Well, then after a full day of skiing, it was time to relax at the summit, have a refreshment, gaze over the scenery, and plan our return trip. And while return trips to the airport generally don't present any significant images, there was one that we thought we would share. Meanwhile, Betty was at home working on a project that began earlier last year. It began with the television show Pan Am, and as a result of that, the local paper ran a two-page spread about Betty's Pan Am experience, the beginning of which emanated which follows.
I was flying for British Airline for a year, and on our one day off a week, my roommate and I came up to London when we heard that Pan Am was interviewing. And we hadn't seen this side of the world, so this was a good thing to do. They hired 17 British girls out of maybe 1,000 that they interviewed that week, and 3 Japanese girls, and we were the 5th international class ever. Wonderful.
Well, the newspaper article was picked up by an English editor, Heather Bishop, who wanted to write a book about a 1960s icon. To make a long story short, Heather came, joined us, spent a week interviewing Betty, and prepared to operate as the ghostwriter of her book. Then in March of this year, the exciting event occurred. Betty's book was released for publication by Simon and Schuster in the UK and the British Commonwealth except for Canada. It was followed by an array of publicity in various publications in the UK and Australia, and even concluded with a featured article in the University of Delaware magazine, where Betty is now a sophomore. Meanwhile, our Jeffrey was recruited and hired by Barclay Bank here in Wilmington and became a member of a new team monitoring the systems for the bank around the world. However, he still found time to develop his new interest, cycling. Here he's about to take off on a ride near our beach house here in Fenwick Island, Delaware. Then our other son, John Kent, had his moment in the sun when he appeared before the Founders Award dinner, a banquet of some 350 attendees, to receive an award for his performance during his year working in the workshop. He had no worry about his name being pronounced correctly, inasmuch as a member of the family operated as MC for the event. But perhaps the most life-changing event that has occurred this year involves our home in Charrington. As many of you who have visited there and shared our time together know that we have lived there for some 30 years. Well, we figured at this point it was time to downsize, so after careful consideration, we put the house on the market in July. Well, after a seemingly endless parade of showings, various repairs, including a very significant stucco repair project, We sold the home after some 40 days on the market at a price that was attractively close to what we had been asking. Then, of course, our hard work began. Betty and I decided to do essentially all the moving ourselves. So, enlisting the aid of the El Camino, we started packing and removing goods to be stored at Jeffrey's home. We rented a nearby storage facility. Using various forms of transportation and carriage vehicles. Then finally, the professional movers arrived, preparing our large furniture pieces for removal and storage, running a very close race with the completion of the stucco repair, as is obvious from the images you see. Well, things seemed to be going quite well, and we were all prepared to leave Charrington, except one member of the family showed some signs of reluctance to leave her comfortable home that she's known for so many years. But joining us at the beach, sitting on the deck with Mummy and enjoying a snack, seemed to resolve any anxieties. Yes, as we speak, we're living at our beach house since the home we have purchased will not be available until February. But being homeless is not all bad, particularly when you have the opportunity to sit on your deck and observe sunsets such as these. And here is our new home. It's a town home sitting next to some ponds just a few miles from our home. It has about 4,000 square feet, very open. So we're delighted to be moving there, and we look forward to the opportunity of sharing it with all of you. So that is the story of our year. And like all of you, our life continues to be one of a series of changes which continue from the first day we met through our entire marriage. But we welcome these changes, we grasp them, we grow with them, and we savor the variety that they represent. But one thing that does not change is that each year we stop and savor the joy and privilege of being part of the family that this represents, and having all of you as special friends. Because as we've said before, there may be gifts under a Christmas tree, but some of the most significant gifts are those of friendship and love that are represented by you who are receiving this letter. We wish you a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and a happy, healthy New Year.